He walked into his master's house as though nothing at all had happened, his face calm, his hands empty of anything but silence. Elisha did not look up right away. He already knew. He had known before Gehazi ever reached the door. "Where have you been, Gehazi?" A simple question, but nothing about this moment was simple anymore. "Your servant did not go anywhere," Gehazi said. The lie came easily. It always does, right before the truth arrives. Elisha rose slowly, and something in the room changed. The air grew heavier, the silence grew teeth. "Did not my spirit go with you?" Elisha said, "when the man turned back to meet you on the road?" Gehazi said nothing. There was nothing left to say. His face had already begun to answer for him. "Is this a time to take money? To take garments and groves and flocks and servants of your own? Naaman's leprosy will cling to you," Elisha said, "and to your children forever." The words fell like a verdict. It began at his fingertips, a whitening, a hardening, spreading like frost across warm skin in the space of a breath. He stared at his own hands as they turned, unable to stop it, unable to undo the single choice that brought him here. This was the cost he never calculated. Not silver for silver, but everything. For 2 bags he could not keep hidden. Gehazi left his master's presence leprous, white as snow, carrying outward what Naaman had once carried and left behind in the river. Elisha did not gloat. There was no triumph in his face, only the quiet grief of a man who loved his servant still. For a moment they simply looked at one another. A prophet and the man he had trained, now separated by a single choice. Gehazi turned toward the door. There was nowhere else to go, and nothing left to hide. He walked out into the fading light alone, carrying a disease he had chosen without ever knowing its true price. Behind him, the village lit its lamps one by one. Gehazi stood outside all of it now, a stranger to his own home. Somewhere beyond the walls, a man once trusted with a prophet's errands now lived apart, marked by the very mercy he tried to sell. The silver stayed buried behind the jars, untouched, unspent, worth nothing now to the man who had run so hard to get it. Elisha walked on. The work of the prophet did not pause for one servant's fall. Mercy still had further to travel. One man walked into the water and came out clean, asking for nothing. Another reached for what wasn't his and lost everything instead. 2 men, 2 roads, 1 river between them, grace freely given to a stranger and refused by the servant standing closest to it. In the end, it was never about the silver. It was about what a man is willing to trade for what was never his to take.